No, for any fans of The Walking Dead, I did not bring Lucille with me to begin this speech. Maybe no fans here. But anyway, I'd like to turn back the clock to about the time I was 8 years old. And I did have my trusty baseball bat as I walked into my backyard on a sunny Southern California morning, and I got my wiffle ball and I picked it up, and with a determined look, I said, "I am the greatest hitter in the whole world." Strike one. I pick up the wiffle ball one more time, and with a determined look, I say, "I am the greatest hitter in the whole world." Strike two. I pick up the ball one more time. I think for a minute. "I am the greatest pitcher in the whole world." Perspective. Humor many times is about perspective and how we look at things. I'd like to share with you another perspective look at humor. There was a man who for many years, he thought he was a dog. He would walk around on four legs. He'd breathe like a dog. Finally, he was driving his family crazy. Like, why does this guy think he's a dog? So they took him to a psychologist, and he walked on all fours, and he sat on his haunches, and the psychologist asked him, "How long have you thought you were a dog?" And he goes, "Ever since I was a puppy." Corny, right? But perspective, it's how we look at things. So in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to share with you how some embarrassing moments happened to me throughout my life, and yet I look at them through the passage of time and a different perspective, and even to this day, they bring a light chuckle to my heart, and many times to others. First of all, I would like to take you back to when I was in the 4th grade. Back then, just as many of us are now, I did not like public speaking. In fact, I was terrified to the bone. But this particular semester, we had to give an oral book report. Oh no, an oral book report. But I was not the greatest of students, but I would do my assignments. So I decided, well, I'm going to prepare this book report and do the book report. So the day finally arrived when I'm supposed to give the book report, and we were going to give our book reports after lunch. So at one point in the early morning, I had to go use the restroom. So I went to the restroom, did what I had to do, and I'm in the process of zipping up my pants, and what happens? My zipper breaks. And this was in the 1960s. You didn't call your parents to the school for any reason, really. I mean, you had to be basically dying to call your parents. It just wasn't done. So there I was, sweating bullets. In about an hour or two, I have to give an oral book report in front of the whole class. So what I did, I started brainstorming. I thought, well, I was wearing a shirt with shirt tails tucked into my pants. So what I did is I untucked my shirt, and I brought them down as low as I could, and then I crouched down like this. And I thought, well, maybe if just the right process, if I have my shirt low enough, nobody's going to notice my zipper's down. So I actually proceeded to go in front of the mirror. The mirror was kind of high, so I was kind of trying to jump up but being crouched down at the same time to see if I could hide the fact that my zipper was down. Well, I went back to class, and eventually it was time to give my oral book report. And she called me. They used to call me Joey back in those days. They go, "Joey, it's time for you to give a report." So there I was, walking up to the middle of the class with my shirt tail out, my knees probably shaking, giving my book report. How I survived that day, I don't know. I don't know if my classmates noticed. I don't know if my teacher noticed. They never brought it to my attention. But to this day, I look back, even though that was a terrifying time for a kid in elementary school. But I tell that story to my wife, and she does a lighthearted laugh. Another story I'd like to share with you, it was when I was 30 years old or so, I started taking up running. I enjoyed running. Even to this day, I enjoy running. But this was when I was in my 30 years old or so. I was still in Southern California at the time. And a couple of days before this happened, I had bought some new running shorts. And this was the 1980s. The style of running shorts in those days were short shorts. I mean, they were short. And that's just the style. I mean, if you wore them today, people would probably laugh at you. But that was the style of the day. And so I bought some running shorts. And they were white running shorts. I don't know why I bought white running shorts. It's not my particular color, talking about colors. But I bought white running shorts. So the next day, I was going to go for my morning run. And most of the time, I would do it very, very, like in a stealth manner. Because I didn't want to wake up my wife, and I didn't want to wake up my kids. I would start my run at 4 o'clock in the morning before work. So I would barely turn on lights. So this particular morning, I was excited because I was going to wear my new running shorts, and I got them out of the drawer, and I put them on in very dim light, headed out the door, and I proceeded to run. I ran about 5 or 6 miles, like I say, at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I came back to my house, and went in to take my shower, and I looked down, and thinking, you know what? These are not my running shorts. These are my boxers. I literally ran 5 or 6 miles in Southern California in my underwear. I thought, oh, I'm just so glad that the police did not pull me over and I'd have to call my wife and say, you know, come and get me because they got me for indecent exposure. Once again, a kind of an embarrassing moment. It was not embarrassing to anybody but except my own self at that particular time. But once again, as I prepared this reflection on humor, I thought many times we come across things in life that are tough and difficult and embarrassing, but as we look at them through the passage of time, we can find humor and a lightness of heart. Thank you.